Ladies and gents, yesterday we talked about the Mutahar fake engineer scandal. Okay, Nick Andros exposed him. People are losing their minds about this. And Mutahar, up until recently, has stayed silent. And I think the only reason we have any information about him speaking at all is because our good little gnome, Keemstar, has pressed him on the subject. Prior to this phone call I'm about to show you, the only response or acknowledgement of the situation going down was Mutahar blocking the term engineer in his comment section. We saw that in the Harmful Opinions video. However, it seems that Mutahar has gone back on that and allowed the term engineer to be coming out. Because now, if you were to venture into his comment section, you can finally see that term appearing on the video. But with all of that out of the way, let's have a look at this new clip from the LolCow podcast.
Entertainer, I'm not gonna lie, but it sucks if he was exaggerating his qualifications, which you know the guy better than anybody on this panel. Is he a real engineer? Does he work as an engineer? Have you seen that? I don't know.
Should I call him?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, no one else will platform him probably. Should get his side of the story.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for due diligence in reporting. Absolutely.
What's extremely important in this situation is that just a year ago, we had Mutahar on the LolCow Live podcast pressing Boogie about his cancer diagnosis. As you can see from this VOD that was uploaded by The Torturer, you can see a 50-minute segment where Boogie is being pressed by some ordinary gamers. Even Tommy C leaves the call, but our boy Mutahar stays in the trenches, getting 50 minutes worth of content pressing Boogie about his cancer diagnosis. So I wonder if Mutahar's comfortable pressing Boogie for 50 minutes about his cancer diagnosis and the fact that he felt that Boogie lied about it, would Mutahar feel comfortable clearing the air on that same show discussing his potential lies?
Hey, we're on stream, just so you know. I basically want to know, what is this drama about? You lied about being an engineer and stuff.
Dude, why don't you just call me like off stream? I don't understand, in the middle of something.
Can't hear.
I could call you off stream, but I just thought maybe like if it's.
Hold on, I gotta take care of some stuff. So I didn't know I was on stream.
So you want me to call you off stream?
Yeah, later. I'm just in the middle of something.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well,
If you want to go call him too, by the way, I mean, I'll entertain. I got a lot to say on this topic.
He doesn't want to talk to me. Like, you know.
Okay.
Mutahar is running. Mutahar is running. Now, a couple things that we need to talk about for this phone call. First of all, if you're going through potentially the most crazy drama, the biggest drama in your career, where people are doubting your credentials and saying that you lied for the course of 10 years, why on God's green earth are you answering the phone to Keemstar? What do you think he is calling you about? Also, let's listen back to his first words when we hear him pick up the phone.
Dude, why don't you just call me like off stream? I don't understand, in the middle of something.
Why don't you call me off stream? I'm in the middle of something. It's very clear that the middle of something doesn't really matter here. What's important is that you call me off stream. Why are you calling me on stream? Why are you putting me on the spot, having to defend myself with no preparation? I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. Let's be clear. Muta thought that Keemstar was calling to help out, okay? And when he found out he was on stream, he panicked and he said, call me off stream. I'm in the middle of something. If he was actually in the middle of something, he wouldn't have picked up the phone. And if he was actually in the middle of something, even picking up the phone, he wouldn't have said, call me off stream. It's very clear that that was the issue he had about this phone call, that he was being called while on stream. When Mutahar is the one doing the pressing, he is totally willing to be on call for 50 plus minutes. He is willing to press Boogie as hard as he wants for as long as he wants. 50 minutes? I thought you're a busy little engineer. I thought YouTube is a part-time thing. I mean, it's the middle of the day. Look at this little fucking clip. The sunny out, calling in to press Boogie about his fake cancer diagnosis. Mutahar ran. He is scrambling to figure out what the narrative is going to be. What is he going to say to his audience to not look like a complete fraud, to not look like a complete shitter, to not look like somebody who lied to his audience for 10 years. And not only did he go on to the LolCow podcast to discuss Boogie's cancer diagnosis, he then made a 30-minute, I'm exaggerating. He made a 26-minute and 40-second video about Boogie lying about his cancer diagnosis. And he got a nice, cool 1 million views for it. I wonder if he'll do the same for his little fuck up. Is he going to issue a 26-minute video and go on stream for 50 minutes? Obviously not, okay? That is a bit unrealistic to expect, but the idea that he's running altogether is fucking hilarious, given that if any other person was in his situation, he would be shitting on them for hours on end. This is one of those situations you can't just wait out. This is one of those situations you can't just wait for the next subject to come on, because the longer you wait, the more this brews in the background. There are too many content creators that are covering it. There are too many people waiting for you to say something. The best thing you can do is rip off the band-aid, say what you have to say about the situation, make an admission if you have to, and then move on. But the longer you wait, the slower you take to pull this band-aid off, the more little hairs that are being pulled off of your skin, okay? The more painful this is going to be, and the worse it's going to be for you. You can imagine he's probably bleeding some subs. You can imagine that there are some commenters that aren't exactly happy about this. You need to deal with this ASAP. You know, this year we've had a lot of dramas, okay? Whether it's Hassan lying about his airport situation, whether it's iDubbbz going through his situation, whether it's H3, whether it's so-and-so, whether it's Pirate Software. But this week, Muta, it's you. And there's no getting out of this. You have to respond, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences. And the good thing is, because of how this year has gone, you can look at other people's responses to their dramas and learn from them. Do you want to respond like iDubbbz? Do you want to have your channel end up that way? Do you want to respond like Pirate? Do you want to end up that way? You need to come at this humble, hat in hand, apologize, and move on. That's the way it's got to be. You got to eat shit on this. You got to realize, you got to be honest, and you got to make sure that people understand that you made a fuck up. You lied about your credentials. You said things that weren't true, and you're going to have to come out and make sure that your audience knows that you won't do that again. Because if you don't do that, people are going to double down and triple down. Alternatively, Muta, if you have the credentials, if you have the ability to prove that you are allowed to say that you're an engineer, you are an engineer. You have a professional experience being an engineer, whether that's whether that's a diploma, a degree, a master, whether that's a diploma or a degree, or that's you professionally working in the industry, you need to come forward with that. But again, judging from this phone call, I'm not too confident about how this is going to go for him. I don't think he's going to be able to bring himself down to the point where he will apologize for this type of stuff. I don't think he has the credentials. I just don't believe it. I haven't seen them, and I don't think that you go 10 years without showing them. But yeah, as of right now, there's been no uploads on his YouTube channel. I'm not seeing any posts, and when I check his Twitter, there has been nothing, no replies, nothing. He has been inactive, and I imagine until he has his story straight, until he knows exactly what he wants to say, it will remain that way. Anyways, ladies and gents, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more like it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I am trying my best to do these daily uploads. I appreciate you guys watching them. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about the situation, and if you guys have any suggestions or types of content that you want to see. Do you guys want to see those live streams come back? Let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like, all that stuff. Thank you for watching.